All right, Mike.
But
Mike, are you in the? All right, hang on a second. I'm gonna disconnect and then reconnect.
okay.
I'm back. Oh, it would help if I had my camera on. There we go. Everything's moving around again.
Yep. Yeah, I can see ya.
All right, cool.
Is there any way we can get rid of that Discord on the side?
I could try, but really, it just kind of comes down to me just making this bigger. Or I guess I could just move this off.
There we go.
Or well, so I know there's a way to like pop out.
Okay.
I could pop it out.
Oh boy.
Hey, I I had it. I thought it was fine before, but we're seeing now. Oh, nope. There's that's not gonna work. So
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
All right.
So this is how it works. I don't think you can get rid of the Discord bar at all.
I have no idea.
But if you want it like this instead, like we can do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh fuck.
Oh boy.
What are we
Off
talking
to a
about
good
first?
start.
It's a fun night. Fun nights.
Yes.
What are we talking about first?
We're going to be talking about the Empty Man.
The Empty Man.
Yes. The Empty Man.
Huh. The Empty Man. What did
Yeah.
you think of the Empty Man? Oh, actually, no.
I like the Empty
I know
Man.
exactly what you thought about the Empty Man because you were angry at me because I didn't give it a higher rating
Yeah,
on
I like that
IMDb.
movie.
I didn't dislike it either. I just don't think it's that high, man.
So, you know, we
Scene
will never come to the bottom.
soon. I don't know. We should do
Oh,
like a blank man special. We could just do like Slender Man, Bye Bye Man.
no. I will never watch Slender Man again for the rest of my life.
I you know me. Usually I am like, no, we started this movie. We're gonna finish this movie.
Oh, oh,
You know how few times I have ever done this.
uh-huh.
I looked at Sav while we were watching Slender Man when I turned it on because we hadn't seen it and it was in a hotel room and I was just like, Sav, I'm sorry, I'm tapping out, and she's like, I've been gone for like 20 minutes. We made it like 40 minutes into that movie, and I
One
was like,
of the
fuck
worst
this.
movies ever made.
You know how I am about that, how much that kind of shit bugs me. Where it's just like,
Uh-huh.
no, if you're gonna watch a movie, you're gonna watch it all the way
Uh-huh.
through, give it its chance.
What does
No.
that tell you? What does that tell you?
It tells you that it's a special kind of bad. And
It's a very special kind of bad.
the only other one that we turned off was Sucker Punch, but I don't think it was like because it was necessarily that bad. I think we just didn't want to watch it.
Yeah, I think we were just done.
I think we
We,
were very
we were
done.
watching it, and then I was like, all right, I've already had enough of this.
We had started watching something else, and then
Right.
we had watched something else that had turned out really bad, and then we were like, well,
Yes.
I brought this, and we were like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome because it's just like ninjas
Uh-huh.
and shit.
Uh-huh.
And but
Yeah.
oh
And then we
well.
just watched trailers for the rest of the night.
I guess so. That's the only movie night that never panned out right.
Nope. No, it never did. It's okay, though.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Johnny Juicebox,
Mike Shake.
and tonight we are doing a B Views live marathon where we're going to talk about three
Yeah.
different movies back to back to back, making 3 episodes of B Views. It's going to be a very special time.
Ah,
I would
it's been
also
a long
rather watch.
night.
I would rather watch Bye Bye Man again than
Any day.
yeah. I would rather.
Any
The video is
day.
lagging. The video lags a lot on here. And the weird part about it is that like I've checked in on this. It looks different to everyone on every different thing. So I don't. But yeah, I'm looking at it right now. On the phone, it's not laggy at all. But I'm looking at it on my PC right now, and it is.
Yeah, it's a little laggy.
All right. Well, I'm gonna exit out of Chrome then. And is it better now? Because again, there is no lag on my stream manager. I have no idea. There's
Yes,
no
it's fine. Yeah.
like
Yeah,
I
I'm watching it right now and it looks a little better.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
it is what it is then.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm Johnny Juicebox. I
Mike.
and we're going to start off talking about The Empty Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Empty Man.
Oh fuck. Hang on. You know who hasn't joined us yet though? So I need to go grab
Who?
Toyama.
Okay. All right. Oh, little Ian. Look at Ian.
There we go. There's
Oh,
Toyama.
you gotta love Ian.
He's our mascot, and he hasn't been in any of the episodes lately.
I know. He needs to be in there.
I know.
Ian needs a name. Ian needs time.
I always put him as Toyama.
I'm sorry. I put him as Ian.
I always credit him as Toyama because we're always like, wait, what happened to Toyama in Ju-on The Grudge? And you're like, oh, that's him. Like we made that joke.
I know. I know we did. Yep.
Anyway, The Empty Man is a very interesting movie that was marketed really poorly because Disney doesn't know how to handle shit that it didn't start.
Yep.
And that's kind of how Empty Man came about, really. Empty Man's one of those
Yes.
movies that it was one of those ones that was going to be released around the time of the transfer, and then
Yep.
and then it didn't get released. It got delayed a bunch, and then they marketed it to look like it was the Bye Bye Man or some shit, and it's nothing like that. It
Nothing.
is.
Nothing.
Yeah, Disney knows how to handle like their big broad appeal shit, and this is not quite what that is. This is
Right.
Yeah. So this is a movie about fuck. This is a movie about a All right, we're spoilers. This whole thing's spoilers. I can't talk about this movie in any way unless we're spoiling it right away, pretty much,
course.
because this movie is just one of those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the final Fox movies, but it came out like after Disney, and Disney got this. You can tell like when you watch the trailer because both Sav and Mike were like, "This is nothing like the trailer,"
Nothing.
and I was like, "What do you mean?" They were just like, "Watch this trailer," and I was like, "All right." I checked it out, and holy
Nothing.
fuck, they marketed this movie to make it look like some kind of Bloody Mary, fucking Babadook bullshit. And it's not.
Uh-huh.
This is a movie that is like, this is fucking existential horror.
Yeah. Yep.
It's literally just an examination of whether or not, like, what it means to exist and what existing is. Also, everything you know and love is dying because of you.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Literally.
Also, did you ever exist at all?
Pretty deep shit.
Yeah, this is actually one that I watched and I was like, Sino might actually like this.
Yeah.
But
I think he may.
honestly, I think it's a little bit of a mess and they jumble a lot of shit together.
Yep. A lot.
Maybe. Could be. Although I don't think you ever went to Bhutan, so. Because this is. This is a 2-hour long movie. They have their little intro at the beginning, and then for. I really. Mike, tell us more about this movie. I'm having trouble right now.
Wow. I can very much tell. So the
How'd
movie
the
starts
marathon go?
off.
Oh, well, I couldn't even get a fucking word out at the beginning.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm explaining. It's okay.
Just can't. Mike, tell me
Okay.
about my OCD.
Oh no, I can't. Let me see. The movie starts off. They're in the mountains of
Bhutan.
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 Yes, Bhutan. And then Paul, one of the characters, slips.
He
and
doesn't
then
even
they
slip.
find-
That part is so weird looking to me.
I know.
Because it's literally, he does this thing where he's like turning, looking around and doing this, and then just like falls into the ground.
Yes. And then one of his friends goes to try to get him, and then he's like mesmerized by this skeleton type, scary looking.
Dude, I don't know what the
fucking
fuck that
thing.
is, but like I got Alien. No, you're thinking of Busan. I'm talking about Bhutan as in the country. The
Yes.
one that's
It
right
does not have anything
south
to
of
do
Tibet.
with the train from Busan. It
or
has
not Tibet,
nothing to
south
do
of
with that.
Nepal.
Okay, and then Paul says to his friend, which I think his name is Greg, that if he touches him, he'll die.
Oh yeah, that was cool though.
That was really cool.
The whole beginning of this movie was fucking cool.
It was really cool.
And then like everything got really weird, and for about an hour and a half we were like, okay, why the fuck did we have that intro? Because it doesn't make any sense until the end of the movie. But no, that thing's cool. It reminds me of like the giant fucking dead mummified alien that they find in Alien, you know?
Right.
It's
and
weird.
And what's cool about it in that opening scene, when one of the girls is at the cabin alone, she all of a sudden sees this figure out in the snow, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and then it comes closer, and then it runs at her.
Oh shit. We have to talk about suicide stuff first. This movie is like full of suicide imagery and like stuff like that. So for real, like trigger warning for that if you watch this movie. Like everything in this movie is about suicide.
Yes.
Like
pretty much.
even the guy who first gets afflicted at the beginning, they constantly, like, one of the characters is freaking out because he goes into like a catatonic state.
Right.
And yeah, Sino, get the hotline number. But he's like, man, he's just like sitting here doing this shit for attention, and like he brings his mental health into question and shit, and is like freaking out at him, and like, don't do that to people who are having mental breakdowns or people who say that if you touch them, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't touch them.
I'm sorry I interrupted. I just thought we should probably bring that up quick
Yeah.
because I just
Yeah.
remembered all of the fucked up imagery in this movie, like the one of all the people like hanging underneath the bridge and like
Yeah.
the all the
Yeah, it's a tough watch at
I
times.
think literally everyone who dies in this movie kills themselves. Um, and it's pretty
Well,
graphic. Well,
I think James kills Paul via gunshot.
no, Paul doesn't die. Oh
Yes,
wait,
he does.
yes, but is that real? We'll get into that. That's weird.
I don't know.
It's anyway. Go on, Mike.
But anyways, Paul, um, all of a sudden you see Paul whispering to one of his friends, and then the friend he was whispering to kills the other friend,
Hmm.
and then I believe the other friend then jumps off the cliff.
I think that's his girlfriend.
Yes, I think that is his
They
girlfriend.
they. It's kind of hard to tell because this is literally a 20-minute long opening for for a
Uh-huh.
movie, but
Uh-huh.
it they make it out to be like they're dating.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean then it transition over I think 10 years later, I believe it is.
I don't know.
Because I know it's 2018 is when the movie takes place.
I just realized I
That's what.
forgot to put the titles of the movies in the title, so I'm sorry. All over the place today.
Wow.
Empty Man, The Call, and Red Blood Skies. Fuck, that's not right.
No, blood,
Blood
red
Red
sky.
Skies.
Sky.
Blood Skies Red? Fuck, no. That's
It's blood, red sky, John. Holy shit. There we go. All right.
you know,
Yeah, so
we
then
keep if we keep talking about movies, like if we keep talking about like movies that have to do with suicide, I'm just gonna have to start like putting the suicide hotline thing as like just our notification every time
uh-huh.
we go online. It's just like remember if you're thinking about killing yourself.
I don't think that would hurt either.
What if that's just our call for every time we go up?
I mean, that wouldn't hurt.
It's just like, oh, I guess they're doing something weird now.
Uh-huh. Like we weren't before. Okay. So then the movie opens and then we get our main um, type of movie. So we get James, we get Amanda, we get the mom of Amanda. What's her name, John?
Nora Quayle. Nora Quayle.
Nora.
That's the guy.
Nora.
That's the lady that he's cheating on his wife with. From he's cheating on her with Jesus. God damn, help me.
She's cheated on her husband with James. Or no, her dead husband, who was now
Her
like he was a
husband's dead,
widow.
and she's
Yes.
having an affair with him, and he's cheating on his wife, and
Yes.
his wife and his kid drive off of a bridge.
Yep. Yep.
And I must have missed something in this movie because since we've watched it, it keeps. Well, we'll keep talking about it. But anyway, he's their neighbor, and then the daughter goes missing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Amanda goes to see James, and then, I mean, they basically um, kind of talk about, like Nietzsche and, you know, vast emptiness, vast nothingness, and I mean, kind of
Oh
like the
yeah,
philosophy
there's
says.
there's so much fucking Nietzsche quoting from Amanda, and it makes me think that she's just a fucking asshole.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
'Cause I'm sorry, but like when I hear philosophy people, I can't help but think you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah, I mean, I can understand where it comes from,
like
but do I care about it? No.
yeah. Where I can see like it's it's fine. It's an easy minor, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It ain't gonna get you anywhere, but
It's pretty much useless and it'll make a lot of people think less of you, especially if you go around quoting philosophers.
right,
That's how you don't make
right.
friends.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is good shit though. I mean, it's a pretty good movie.
Holy cow, John! Now what happens next, John?
Which part are we at?
Oh, we just started.
um, well, he throughout the movie we kind of get the implication. Well, spoilers. We've already said spoilers, but fuck it,
Yeah.
spoilers more, just in case. Because I just remembered we're doing this live, so you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's live.
Religion makes more sense than philosophy. Philosophy is just a way for people to just, I don't know, come up with stupid
Uh-huh.
bullshit. What was I talking about?
Oh my God, we've been talking about the Empty Man.
You know, this is not as bad as our Yakuza Principal episode yet.
That's saying
So I
something.
think that episode was like 40 minutes, and we went on for about like anime for 20 minutes of that movie.
Yeah, we did. Or no, I think that was wasn't that Princess Mononoke?
But we talked about that movie for the most part.
Yeah,
We didn't talk a lot about Yakuza Principal, I feel like.
right. I
We
don't
do
know.
that sometimes. We're like,
Yeah, we get off. We get
yeah.
off on tangents and
But this one's difficult.
ramblings.
This one's a little difficult, so I'm happy we're doing this one first because the other two are
Yeah.
straightforward movies.
Yep.
And this movie, it's one of those movies that feels like it wants to be really smart.
Uh-huh.
It feels that way.
But is it? Probably not.
Uh,
Not really.
Again, it feels like a college student read some Nietzsche and was just like, "Oh, Nietzsche's the best," as college students often do.
Right.
But we are at the point where basically Amanda, we find out at first we were just like, oh man, is this like his daughter, like what's
Right.
happening? Turns out he's
Yeah, because we know
actually
nothing about him.
we yeah, this is we've spent the first 20 minutes of the movie with our main four characters, and all of them are dead now, and we have no idea what's happening
Yes.
anymore. So we open up this
Yes.
guy. He's taken some pills. I think we established that it was, don't remember the name of it, dioxepin, maybe.
Okay.
It's a
Something like
sleeping
that.
it's a sleeping drug
Right.
according to the internets, and we are
The
going to believe the
internets.
internets.
Yes.
Which is fun because his name is James Lasombra,
Yes.
which means the shade or the shadow
The shade.
or the darkness, but I don't know if this is trying to emulate Jacob's ladder, because it doesn't feel like Jacob's ladder to me.
No, this is not Jacob's Ladder.
They already made.
No.
Did they already release that remake of Jacob's Ladder?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
well, I guess it was really good. That's why we didn't hear anything.
Uh-huh. No. No, it was not.
All right, so
No.
we find out that James Lasombra and he's a ex-cop who was an undercover cop. He's had trouble with just everything. We aren't
Right.
100% sure why. Later on, we find out it's because his wife and kid are dead. But,
Yes.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yep.
well, the internet's told me that birds don't actually exist, so you're wrong. Anyway, gotta get.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. This movie, a lot of this was lost on me, man. Basically, Amanda disappears. He goes and talks to her friends, and her friends are really weirded fucking out.
Uh-huh.
They're just like, oh, she finds the one friend, De
Guevara?
Devana,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Um, and she tells him a story, and this story is
Yep.
all about the empty man. And what you do is, whenever you're walking on a bridge, if you find an empty bottle, you blow into the bottle, and then you can hear then you can hear the empty man coming for you. And the first night you hear him, the second night you see him, or is that it? The first night you see him, the second night
Yep.
or the first night you hear him, the second night you
Yep.
see him, and the third night he sees you, I think is what they say.
Yes. Yep.
But then another interpretation someone else says is the third night he gets you. So,
Right.
and then all of them are freaking out. Oh, and when Amanda goes missing, there's a mirror that says "Empty man made me do it,"
Right.
and it's blood.
Yeah, and you're wondering what the hell is this shit?
I don't know what Mara is, but it could be. But it's fine because this is the issue I have with this movie. I don't understand how this is a thing or what this has to do with the rest of the movie.
I don't know.
You don't? You don't get it? Like how it ties in?
I mean, it's very, very hard to understand.
Okay, because I didn't get why this was a thing, why she was telling her friends this.
I don't know.
Oh shit, that Sleep Demon movie. Fuck, I forgot about that. Must have been good.
Huh?
Mara.
Okay.
Anyway, this is the movie that we were promised by the one that we're talking about right now, where there's a cryptid type thing
Yeah.
where fuck, we got all the shit and all that blah blah blah. All the teenagers are running away from the thing that they summoned. Like that's the movie we all got sold by a trailer. This has nothing to do with the movie. I have no idea where the fuck it came from.
No idea.
Yeah. So Mike,
No idea.
what is this movie actually about? Because this movie actually now that I think about it, because it has that scene. Okay, so this movie turns into Amanda actually joined like this cult. And there's a cult called fucking something, and they go out. Do you remember what the cult's called, Mike?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I don't know. I don't. Mike, talk more about this movie. I'm going to look up the name of the cult.
What a disaster. But anyways. So basically James is trying to what it's basically about is James is trying to find this missing girl. And he's being pulled in all these different directions from this cult, and he's a former undercover cop from St. Louis. And obviously with the death of his family, He's all of a sudden, he doesn't want to do it anymore, obviously, but so he has the type of skills, to do undercover work. So, he starts the, investigation on him, by himself.
That's what it is.
So,
Sorry.
and I
The
mean, I think that's kind of like the main premise. You kind of get more and more and more education about the cult
right, which is
with
the
with
Pontifex Institute.
the Pontifex Institute. That's it. With what the hell's his face? Milton and the stapler in the office space.
Yeah, it's got that guy.
Yep.
But it's really bizarre because there's all this weird shit that the cult leader says to him when he goes to check him out. Where I think one of the things he says is, "I'm so happy you stayed longer this time," and he said, "I think you're slipping. I've never been here before," and he gets like lines like that from a lot of stuff.
Right. Right.
And you get the off-brand Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie,
Yep.
and he has this moment where he goes through the whole thing, blah blah blah, and then
Uh-huh.
offshoot Leonardo DiCaprio talking like he's from the 50s gives him like an address
Yeah.
for like this, I guess, summer
Oh, it's like
camp
a
type thing.
cabin,
It's
like
like
a
a
summer camp.
yeah, because he asks him where Amanda is, and he says, "Oh well, Amanda is out there. Amanda is out on a retreat on
Yeah.
a retreat because she leveled up."
Yeah, because I think it's called Camp Nowhere, right?
Yeah, it's Camp
Yeah.
Nowhere. But he goes
Yeah.
there and he finds like this empty cabin that he just kind of fucking breaks into.
Yeah, I mean, he just fucking breaks into it.
And I love how self-aware this character is, or the whole time he's just like, "Oh fuck, this is dumb," and just like
Uh-huh.
muttering to himself and shit.
Uh-huh.
And he's like breaks in there and he watches this
Like
VHS.
Ring type video.
Fuck, it's called like Manifestation 13 or something is written on the
Something like
video.
that.
And like he watches the video and it's just like this person freaking out, and in the background you see a teddy bear like turning its head and looking at him, and you're like, ah, fuck, dude.
Right.
This can't be good.
Right.
And then he looks over and he sees that the teddy bear that was there is gone, and he's just like, nope, and he leaves.
Yep.
And then all those people are singing and dancing around a fire thing, and that's the coolest scene in the movie.
It
I
is.
don't care.
It's
I
one
don't
of
care
the
what
best ones.
anyone
Yep.
says. It's my favorite part in the whole movie is when he goes out and he's like out in the middle of the river or something, or out in the middle of the stream, and he's watching all
Uh-huh.
of them like do these dances around. It's like this really like Wicker Man-esque kind
Uh-huh.
of scene where they're all dancing
Yep.
around this giant bonfire, and he like looks at him. He's looking over at him, and he does something. He looks back at him, and they've all stopped, and they're all looking at him.
Uh-huh. And it's like, oh shit.
And then like he some other cut happens, and then the fire's completely gone out.
Yep.
And then he does that thing where he takes a step back, and then all of them take a step towards him every time he takes a step back, and then he goes, "Oh no, fuck that," and he runs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Oh, it was such a cool scene.
Yeah.
So
I
good.
thought it was really
At
cool.
some point, I'm hopefully gonna have to edit that in because I I liked that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really cool scene.
It's a cool movie, but
Yeah.
um, there's it's not a really exciting movie to explain in detail though.
No.
So basically, he goes back. At some point, he runs back into Amanda. Oh yeah, at some point, he goes to look for all of Amanda's friends, and all of Amanda's friends are missing. And then
Yes.
something happens while he's on the bridge, and he goes into the bottom of the bridge, and he finds all of Amanda's friends are hanging there.
Hanging.
Yeah. So
Not good.
yeah, yeah, not great.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, not great.
That's
Uh,
sad.
I mean, it's sad. We never got to know them as characters, though.
Right.
There you go. The Suicide Hotline.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, it's pretty good. Mike, how does the rest of this go? Because it's a little fuzzy on me. Like I know where we end up, but I don't really remember how we got there. I remember there's a tie-in scene with the with when he's sneaking around in the cult church thing.
Uh huh. Yeah. So he talks to the cult leader, which is Milton,
Yeah.
and then basically, um, at Leonardo DiCaprio, like we were talking about, tells him about Camp Nowhere, and that's when he starts. That's when he says the Candyman like phrase, with the within a bottle, empty man, empty man, empty man, and then he starts, seeing shit. So even when he's
Oh
in
yeah, he
bed, remember
finds a
those
bottle
scenes?
there, and he does do the thing, and
Right,
then
right. Well,
yeah.
remember in bed, he just starts seeing shit, and
But this
he
is the
thought
part of the
somebody.
movie I don't understand how it ties into the end, and this is what I'm really
I
asking you.
don't know.
Is okay,
There's
so
not. There's not a nice knot.
yeah.
There's not a nice knot.
And it's the problem with this movie. And I wouldn't say it's a bad
Yes.
movie. I would say it's going for
There
some good
is
stuff.
too much going on in between. How is this connected? How is this to Paul? How is this to this? How is this to that? It's very hard to understand in
To me
terms
there's
of
only
how are these things tying together.
one section that didn't tie together properly, and that is the concept of the cult and the pontifex and everything like that. And
Yes.
then the concept of the empty man and his rituals and how those tie
Yes.
together, I don't like.
I honestly, I
it's
don't think anybody can understand that because it's not very well defined.
see, I might have missed something in the movie too. So who
I
knows?
mean, I watched that whole thing. I did not look at a phone. I was watching the movie,
I was too,
and
but I mean,
and then
you miss stuff
I couldn't
sometimes.
understand how it links Paul with the investigation to this to
I
that
understood
to the end.
they don't tell us about Paul until the end though, and like
Right,
I'm happy about the
right,
Paul thing that we at least get to see that, but that doesn't pay off until the
right.
end.
No, but you don't understand what's going on with James until the end, and then you're like, how does this tie together?
Unless the James thing, unless the empty man thing ties into the other empty man pontifex thing. Because okay,
I don't know.
let's just talk about the end of this movie. Let's be done with this.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah,
at the end of this,
I mean, it's very hard to understand. That's why this isn't a great horror movie. I'd say it's a good horror movie.
so the way this movie ends is he finds what is basically the object of the Pontifex Institute's worship, I guess. So
Yeah,
they don't really do worship. It's
it's like
basically
undercover type shit.
just them saying philosophy questions at each other and then
Yeah,
jacking off, which is like, what philosophy majors do, I assume.
right.
And basically it's Paul, everybody. Paul from the beginning of the movie. It turns out
Yeah,
that
Paul.
he's in a coma
Yep.
or whatever in the hospital. And the nurse says, "Oh yeah, he showed up here however long ago. I have no idea like whose pays his bills, but he sure
Uh-huh.
does get a lot of visitors." And it turns out that Paul is
A projector?
Paul
Is that what he is?
Paul is yeah, I think they call him an antenna.
An antenna, that's it.
And then they
Yes.
say, "Well, Paul is the empty man."
Yes.
Because the concept of the empty man is some philosophy thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the movie constantly plays with these ideas that are like I think one of the first thing Amanda says to him is, "Did you ever think that maybe all of your thoughts and actions are not your own? They're given to
Mm-hmm.
you through an outside force?"
Yep.
And that's kind of supposed to be the concept of the empty man.
Yep.
So maybe that is what the Empty Man is. That was just like the Amanda putting that idea into all of her friends' heads, and then they all died because she put the idea into their heads. I don't know.
Right.
It's a convoluted movie.
Right. It's like we just said, it's not very well defined.
In fact, I wouldn't be super surprised if this is one of those movies that suffered a lot from studio interference at some point.
Yep.
Probably
Yep.
especially because of all the weirdness with all the fucking weird Disney bullshit.
Right. No, I would not be surprised at all.
But basically, he shows up and they're like, "Yeah, this is the antenna. We get all of our messages through him." But because no human can sustain that much power for long, he's already dying. So we
Right.
decide, and we haven't had another signaler like him for 500 years. So we
Mhm.
were proactive and we made our own.
Right.
And it turns out that Paul was flesh willed into existence by the cult.
Well, no.
Or
No, James was.
yeah, James. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Paul
Yeah.
Paul ran into the weird demon thing. James
Yes.
was flesh that was willed into existence by the cult in order to act as an antenna.
Yes.
Boom. Unfortunately,
Yes.
this comes 2 hours later, and I did not care enough about it at the time it happened. That being said, I enjoyed the movie.
I did.
Oh, also at the end, there's a bunch of stuff that happens, and James shoots Paul, and then James
In the head.
becomes
In the head.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess yeah.
Yeah.
And there was this part where Amanda was like, "Did you think I didn't know about your little indiscretion with my mom?" Of course I did, because I'm the one who wrote it into you.
Yep. I thought that was really cool.
Amanda is
And then
such
he
a
calls
villain.
her, and she's like, "Who is this?"
Yeah, he calls
Nora.
her mom,
Yep.
and he's like, "Nora, you have to get out of the house. They're coming." And she's just like, "I don't know any James."
Uh huh.
And it just fucks with him a lot.
It does.
It was an alright
And
movie.
you kind of feel bad for him because you realize this was all an implant.
Yeah. Like none of his existence exists, really.
Uh huh.
Like it's all just you know?
Bullshit.
It's
All
all
fake.
written for him.
Yep.
But that brings up a lot of different questions in this movie that I don't really want to bother asking.
Yeah. I mean, it isn't going to get you anywhere.
We found this movie on HBO Max.
Yep. Yeah, I picked it.
Yeah. This was Mike's pick.
Nope.
No? No, this was Sav's
Um,
pick.
Yeah, Sav's pick.
Because you picked the next movie.
I did. I did.
And you hated this next movie, too.
I did not like it.
I thought it was fine. This
All right.
movie's a little convoluted. I think I gave it a 7 on IMDb. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ratings are dumb and objective.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
But the real question is, would you recommend this movie, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah?
Give it a watch.
I'd recommend it to anyone who likes philosophy.
Sure.
Otherwise,
I'd give it a
you'll
watch.
constantly roll your eyes at everything that every Nietzsche quote she says because, every philosophy thing, every, philosopher I hear, it just comes across as, stupid bullshit to me. So
Uh-huh. Well,
it
of
makes
course.
me roll my eyes every time, and I feel bad about that. But,
Yep.
that's just kind of the way it is.
Right.
And, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a great movie, like I said. I mean, there's too many things going on at once. Not too many knots are tied. I mean,
Yeah.
I just think it could
I
have
think
been even
They did
better
a
than it
good
was.
job of tying some knots. It's just those main two. They tied up. They didn't explain very well exactly what the empty man ritual thing is and how that ties
Right.
into the entirety of the rest of the plot.
Right.
Because it really does feel like, oh, this would be a cool thing to see in a trailer.
Right. Yeah.
It's like,
I
oh,
mean
look,
that.
we came up with this ritual and this name for a movie monster
Mhm.
supernatural thing. So,
Mhm.
like, maybe we could come up with a thing. And then
Maybe.
they filmed that, and they were just like, fuck, we don't have a plot.
Right. Uh huh. It's like, oh, we got to tie all this together. How are we gonna do that?
And then they were like, let's just say subtext.
Uh huh. Yep.
Ah. Well,
I
I
mean, it's
think,
not a bad movie. Give it a watch.
yeah, I'd say give it a watch. I'm
Yep.
going to recommend this one.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
It's a long watch, but
it's
it's a
an hour,
watch.
or it's 2 hours.
Yeah. That's 2 hours, not an hour.
It is a 60-minute long film, meaning they could not
Yes.
even make feature length.
Right. Not even close.
It would have been a really cool short film if it was only 60 minutes long and it was just like that empty man ritual shit.
Right. Right. And does it have promise for maybe, you know, the future? Maybe.
No, I don't want sequels to this fucking movie.
I want sequels.
Why?
I want to see people die.
That's not what this movie's about. It's about just
I know.
spouting philosophy bullshit.
I know. Yep. Well, that's Empty Man.
Yeah, that is Empty Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll take a short break.
Yep.
I'll throw up the pull back the capture. We'll keep this up for a bit. And we'll be back.
All right.
I mean, I'm still here. Everything I do is gonna be right here. I'm putting up the background picture just because I don't know.